Porton Down is one of the most secretive military establishments in the UK. It is the location of the Defence Science and Technology Laboratories, hidden away on Salisbury Plain. For decades, this place was the source of conspiracy theories about strange goings-on. Today, Porton Down is the centre of research into chemical and biological weapons. At the end of this corridor, in a building that I'm not allowed to name, is a laboratory where scientists are working on the latest chemical repellent. For security reasons, we can only call the scientists here by their first names. In the laboratory, Corinne shows me how a plasma that has been developed can stop deadly chemical liquids from soaking into clothing.
One's been coated, one's just as it came out of the packet. If I put a droplet of this dyed water on...
That's all this is.
That's
for all intents and purposes, this could be a chemical agent.
Yes, this could be a chemical. It could be a solvent or a petrol or something. So
that absorbs straight in.
Yeah, and if I do the same thing on this treated piece,
look at that.
It's repelled.
Porton Down was built during World War I when German forces started gassing British soldiers. This was the original headquarters. It is the only building on the site that we are allowed to film. During the Cold War, when the threat of gas attack was considered high, it was here that scientists tried to keep up with their Russian counterparts.
The Black Veil respirator, this was Britain's first response to the use of chlorine back in 1915.
It looks horrid to wear.
It's essentially cotton waste material soaked with various chemicals that would react with chlorine. You'd tie it around your mouth and hope for the best.
100 years on, technology has moved on, thankfully, because I am being allowed to test out the latest protective equipment. The respirator has to fit perfectly, so gas doesn't seep through the seals. I also have to put on a chemical suit and rubber gloves. On my back, I'm carrying equipment that feeds live data to an analyst monitoring how effectively my mask is working. The chamber has been filled with a gas for this test.
I've got to say, this is quite comfortable. I've got good vision around me. I can see very clearly it's not misting up, and that's the point of the technology inside it. And I can breathe quite easily.
By running and jumping, I'm putting the mask under stress to see if the seals hold. These might be controlled conditions in the Wiltshire countryside, but this is where the mistakes have to be sorted out. If mistakes occur when the masks have been worn for real, it could be deadly.
Whew, that was hot. How did I do?
Good. Look at the trace here. You can see that during the exercise, most of the time you're getting just over a couple of times, 1 or 2 particles in the respirator. So
pretty good.
Very good result, yeah.
What you're looking for?
I'm afraid I can't tell you.
Porton Down also works with police forces in the UK to develop equipment in case of a chemical or biological terror attack on the streets of Britain.
The range of threats that we face in terms of their complexity is probably quite broad. I think it's fair to say that if you look at the press and you watch the news, then you can see that it's been a very unstable world for the past few years. Events in Syria and the Middle East have clearly been shown that chemical weapons are as relevant today as they were 100 years ago in the First World War.
In recent years, Islamic State has launched gas attacks on Kurdish soldiers in Iraq, and President Assad has used chemical weapons against his own people. Europe's intelligence agencies believe that terrorist groups have ambitions to carry out something similar on a Western capital. Porton Down's work might be in secret, but if the terrorists ever succeed, it will come into its own. Alistair Bunkle, Sky News.